Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive misconception that's probably holding you back right now. What if I told you that most people don't stay poor just because they don't earn enough money? I know, it sounds crazy, right? But the truth is, building lasting wealth isn't just about scoring a higher salary. It's actually about making significantly smarter decisions with the money you already have in your pocket right now. We're going to uncover the 10 biggest, most common money mistakes that are quietly keeping millions of people from ever achieving financial freedom.
Okay, let's dive into this. It's so easy to just blame our paychecks when we aren't building wealth. We've all been there. But when we look at the hard data and the actual real-world habits of wealth builders, we see something completely different. People actually stay poor because of a few specific financial mistakes that they repeat every single day. These everyday recurring missteps, they're the real culprits. Now, if you're sitting there realizing you're making one of these mistakes, don't sweat it. By the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly how to spot them and, more importantly, how to avoid them entirely.
Here's our roadmap to wealth for today. First, we'll look at the spending and debt trap. Second, missing shields and streams. Third, stealing from your future. And finally, we'll wrap up with the wealth mindset.
Chapter 1. The Spending and Debt Trap.
Listen, we really need to get serious about the daily leaks that quietly drain your wealth before you even realize the money is gone. And that brings us to a major mistake: not tracking your expenses. It's just a simple truth: you absolutely cannot improve what you don't measure, right? Honestly, so many of us have no idea where our money actually goes at the end of the month. It's usually not the huge, crazy purchases that bankrupt us. It's that quiet, steady drain of small daily expenses. A coffee here, a subscription there, it silently siphons off thousands of dollars every single year, literally. Tracking your expenses is how you catch that wasteful spending. It gives you the power to make better choices, because simple awareness, that's the absolute critical first step toward getting your finances on track.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it perfectly captures a closely related trap: living beyond your means through lifestyle inflation. Think about it for a second. What happens when most people get a raise? Boom, they immediately upgrade their life. A bigger house, a nicer car, way more expensive vacations. Every single time their income goes up, their spending goes right up along with it, trapping them in this never-ending cycle. But the wealthy, they do the exact opposite. They focus on growing their assets and investing that extra income long before they ever think about upgrading their lifestyle.
And that connects directly to the trap of buying things just to impress others. Our society puts this massive heavy pressure on us to buy luxury cars, designer clothes, the latest gadgets. We totally fall into the trap of spending money we don't even have just to impress people we don't even know. It's crazy when you say it out loud. Looking rich is just an illusion. It's built on appearances and usually a mountain of debt. Being rich, like true wealth, is built through securing your financial future, buying real assets, and making smart investments. So focus on your actual security, not on putting on a show for strangers.
Which naturally leads us to the ultimate trap: relying way too much on credit cards. Look, credit cards are just tools, but when they're mismanaged, they become incredibly dangerous. A 20% interest rate is a terrifying tipping point. When you're carrying a balance with rates that high, your debt isn't just sitting there, it's growing exponentially. If you're only paying the minimum balance on those cards, you are practically guaranteeing that you'll be trapped in debt for decades. No way around it. You absolutely have to use credit responsibly and pay those balances off in full every month.
Chapter 2. Missing shields and streams. Let's move to and see how this builds out the defensive barriers you might be failing to put in place.
So, we're looking at defensive barriers now, starting with a huge mistake: not having an emergency fund. Let's be real, life is going to throw curveballs at you. It's entirely unpredictable. You're going to face unexpected medical bills, car repairs out of nowhere, or even a sudden job loss. And without an emergency fund, people are forced right back to those high-interest credit cards we were literally just talking about. Financial experts pretty much universally recommend saving 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. This right here is your shield. This fund is what prevents a temporary, manageable hiccup from spiraling into a total financial disaster.
And while you're building up that shield, you also need to start building your streams. Depending on just a single source of income leaves you incredibly vulnerable. Think about it. If that one paycheck disappears, financial ruin is right around the corner. But hey, here is the exciting part. Successful wealth builders absolutely refuse to be vulnerable. They create diversified income streams, they're building up investments, launching cool side businesses, taking on freelance work, generating rental income, or even selling digital products online. Diversifying your income doesn't just create massive financial stability, it opens up incredible new opportunities for growth.
Chapter 3. Stealing from your future.
This is where we transition to your long-term wealth engines, focusing on why time is, hands down, your single most crucial asset. A massive flaw here is just completely ignoring retirement planning. Way too many of us assume retirement is this distant reality, like, oh, that's something to worry about decades from now. But retirement planning needs to begin as early as possible. The longer you wait, the mathematically harder it becomes to build up a sufficient fund. You absolutely must take advantage of employer-sponsored retirement plans and long-term investment opportunities right now. I promise you, your future self is totally depending on the actions you take today.
And taking early action is absolutely critical, which is exactly why hesitating to invest is so damaging. And this brilliantly illustrates why. People so often delay investing because they mistakenly think they need a huge pile of money just to get started. But listen, time matters far, far more than your initial dollar amount. Why? Because of the absolute magic of compound growth. Even very small investments can grow into massive fortunes over time. The earlier you start, the longer your money actually has to work for you. If you wait just 10 years to start investing, that hesitation can easily cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in future wealth. No joke.
Chapter 4. The Wealth Mindset. Now we shift our focus to the internal stuff, the psychological barriers that prevent people from taking control, starting with a failure to learn about money. There's this grand irony in our society, isn't there? We spend years and years in school learning how to earn a paycheck, but most schools teach absolutely nothing about personal finance or how to actually manage that paycheck once we get it. Because of that, self-education is essential. Taking the time to read books, consume educational content, and really improve your financial literacy will dramatically change the trajectory of your life. Knowledge creates opportunity, guys. Investing in your own financial education offers literally one of the highest returns possible.
And that leads us straight to our final fatal flaw, waiting for the perfect time. People endlessly delay important financial decisions. They wait to invest, they wait to save, they wait to start that side hustle. They're always waiting for the economy to be just right, or for their salary to hit some magical number. But here's the hard truth. The perfect time rarely, if ever, actually arrives. Successful people understand this. They take action way before they feel completely ready, because they know, deep down, the momentum is infinitely more valuable than perfection.
So the crucial point is this: financial success is not about luck. It's about avoiding these exact traps and consistently making smart decisions. To recap our roadmap to wealth, you need to implement these 5 steps right away. 1. Spend less than you earn. 2. Invest early and let compound interest do all the heavy lifting. 3. Keep learning and building that financial literacy. 4. Create multiple income streams so you're never left relying on just one paycheck. And 5. Take action today.
I want to leave you with this really powerful thought from our source material. The cost of waiting is often greater than the cost of making mistakes. Just let that sink in. Every single dollar you save and invest right now builds your tomorrow. So I'll ask you this: what is waiting truly costing you right now? Stop waiting for perfect. Start building your wealth today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.